Welcome everyone to Ready Set Rewatch, where we are boldly going to continue talking about Star Trek, the original series, Season 2. I'm Skyler, and this is my best friend Daniel.
Hello.
Daniel, how are you feeling about Star Trek Season 2 so far?
So far, very good. We're only 4 episodes in, but I feel like season two, both in terms of like production design and writing, I think generally speaking is a pretty big step up from season one.
We mentioned last time that we do feel the budget increase a bit, and that's still true. You know, Daniel, I'm just now looking at you and I'm realizing, have you always had
What?
that goatee?
Um, yes, but please only refer to it as a beard.
Goatee and a sash, a gold sash around your waist?
Yeah, I'm missing my knife though. It's stuck in one of our friends.
Evil Daniel and robot space probe Skyler. Here we go. We're talking
You're
about Star Trek.
you're gonna be the butt plug, dude.
I'm gonna be the whatever the hell he is.
All right. Hell
We'll
yeah.
get into. We have to get into that first, so we might as
Uh,
well jump into episode 3 of season 2, The Changeling.
the Changeling. So episode 3 starts with the crew of the Enterprise responding to a distress call from at what I at first thought was a planet called Maluria or Malurians. Turns out it's a whole race of people that spread across like 4 planets, and unfortunately, they're all just gone.
It
They have disappeared.
it was a whole race of people. They
Uh,
specifically say 4 billion people are gone.
Yeah, they say they got an original distress signal. They've heard nothing since, and now Spock cannot find any signs of life at all.
So that's the most horrifying thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, well, it doesn't get better because then Spock also is like, and I know for a fact it's not disease. It couldn't have been caused by disease or war because those things would have left traces that I would be able to detect. They're just gone.
What was that show where people just like disappeared one day? Do you remember that show? I think it was on
The MCU.
HBO or well, that did happen in the MCU, that's true. No, was it called The Leftovers?
That sounds right. I think there's a couple shows like that technically because there's also that one with Jeanette McCurdy where everyone over a certain age dies.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, the point here is that there were no leftovers. They're all gone.
They're all gone. Ate the whole meal and licked the plate clean.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sulu, who is no longer accompanied by our best friend Chekhov.
No, this is Chekhov's off day.
He had the day off, which
It's
is good
Chekhov
because
day.
it's not a good day. He detects something coming at him real fast. Turns out it's a big old green ball of energy, which hits the Enterprise real hard.
Wait, does it?
And then we go to the intro. Pretty exciting start to this one.
Yeah, 4 billion people are gone and probably dead, definitely dead, and another big green thing in space coming at us.
We can't avoid if it's green in space, it's gonna come after us. I think the Romulan ships end up being green eventually too, don't they?
I don't uh I don't know. I cannot remember that. But I also don't remember if this big ball is green in the original broadcast too, or if that's just like a revamped
Oh,
effects deal.
yeah. Well, because apparently the hand isn't originally green in Who Mourns for Adonis. It's like gray or something.
I think that just has to do with old effects TV. Maybe they cleaned it up a little bit, but I thought it was always green. I don't know.
I don't know. I read a thing that said that. I didn't like see the original effect, so it could have just been lying to me.
Well, go find the guy who wrote that thing and then start a podcast with him. Why don't you?
Will do. Will do. Spock says that the blast had the force of 90 photon torpedoes and it reduced their shield by 20%. So apparently the Enterprise can take a lot of damage.
That's true. Well, wait. No. That math doesn't add up.
That's what
90
that's what he
photon?
said.
Huh.
I'm sure that
All
will
right.
stay consistent through all of the rest of the series.
Next time we're under fire from an enemy ship or something, we're
Yeah,
keeping an eye on how many times they hit us before they say shields are at critical.
right. But they can't find who's attacking them at first. They find a very small target eventually, but they're like, "There's no way it could be coming from that thing." And then they try to shoot it with with one singular photon torpedo, and the target absorbs it. And then Kirk is like, "I can't believe it could absorb that much damage." And it's like, "Bro, you just took 90." Spock said, "Like, what are you talking about?"
That math don't add up.
I
That's
know.
Sulu's wrong.
It was Spock who said it.
Oh, Spock's wrong too.
Spock can't
Sulu
be
doesn't get off
wrong.
that easy.
He's not allowed. So they get hit again, and their shields keep going down, and eventually they get to the point where they can't take another hit. So they try to communicate with the ship, and Kirk's like, "I am James T. Kirk," and blah 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 blah. And immediately the ship is like, "Cool, bro," and just starts.
Yeah, it's immediately kind of okay with that.
Yeah, it's like cool, 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 cool. And it tries to communicate with them, but it's like talking to them with a sort of weird old binary, apparently.
Speaking
And
to us in math.
And when it does that, the math, like, I guess, overloads the computer. So they have to shut it down before it explodes. And then now all of a sudden the thing can speak English and it identifies itself as Nomad. And after a very brief conversation, they agree for some reason to beam this thing onto the ship.
Yeah, you know, seems safe.
I mean, it ends up working out for most of the crew, but like, it's definitely not safe.
I can't believe that I earlier said whatever this thing is called, forgetting his name was Nomad, because he does tell us about 90 times that his name is Nomad.
Yeah, he's also like a relatively, I don't know if character is the right word, but he's a relatively famous like part of Star Trek. Like I had heard of Nomad before.
Well, that's interesting. I don't know. I didn't perceive him as that well known.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's the coolest guy. Anyway, so they beam Nomad over, and it's a weird hovering little butt plug thing. I think it's supposed to be like vaguely humanoid shaped because like it has sort of one block that's like would be like a torso, and then there's a small extrusion with another block on top that's like a head. So I do think that they're like, we want it to kind of have the silhouette of a person, but then it doesn't have legs, so it is just kind of hovering around.
Yeah. I wouldn't call him a butt plug. To me, he looks, and I know that I'm just basically saying like this science fiction robot looks like another science fiction robot, but he looks like multiple type of things that you'd see in Star Wars, you know? He looks kind of like IG-88. I mean, not
A little bit.
in his face so much, but like just in his stature.
Yeah.
He's just this little tower that floats around. And not until he started moving, when he was just standing there and I was like, all right, what is this little prop? Second he started moving and following people around, I was like, this guy is a goddamn cutie patootie. I love him.
Yeah, it's a pretty good effect, honestly, the way it's moving around. I don't know exactly how they do it. I assume it's like wires or something.
I think, do we ever see the top and bottom of him moving at the same time?
I can't say for
Like,
sure, but I would have
think
thought so.
either there's something on the ground propping him up and like dragging along, or something from the ceiling hanging down taking him along.
That's
One or
definitely
the
how it
other.
is at least some of the times, because there's a couple of shots I remember where he's like following behind people, but the camera's like from his perspective, its perspective, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely at least in those scenes, it's probably just like on a cart. They're just pushing it.
There may just be a wire that is completely edited out for this remaster,
Mm,
and maybe it wasn't edited out that well before, but it was just harder to see.
because the cameras were bad. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, I can see that. Either way, Nomad asks them where they're from, and it doesn't seem to know what the Federation is, which is interesting. And then it also makes clear that it is not a ship. There's not people inside it, which for some reason at one point Bones thinks that it does have people in it, or just assumes it does. I forget. No, Scotty thinks it does. And then Spock is like, power does not necessarily require stature or something to that effect. So like, oh, they could be like super crazy strong aliens, but they're an inch tall. Like that baby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then Kirk remembers, because he has very good memory of the early 2000s. We learned from the Khan episode.
Yes, he does. He knows his history.
He remembers that there was a probe launched in the early 2000s called Nomad. This is where I wrote, Nomad can move, bro. What the hell? Anyway,
There he goes.
it goes with them to a computer lab where it scans a bunch of charts, and now it knows that they're from Earth. I think it has like a conversation with Kirk where it's like, we're from the star system Sol, and he's like, oh, are you from the third planet from the sun? It's like, oh man, that's where I'm from. Cool.
Yeah.
Which is also weird, because it's well, we'll get there, but it tells them that its function was to sterilize biological infestations, which explains what happened to the 4 planets of people. He deleted them.
That's yeah. The cute little robot's kind of, sort of, maybe
A
super
genocidal maniac.
genocidal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also starts calling Kirk the creator. Which Kirk starts to resist, and then Spock is like, "Yeah, no, he's the creator." Because as we know, if an
This
all-powerful being asks if you're God, you say yes.
I think every D&D group has been in this exact situation before against some sort of big bad,
Yeah, maybe.
like just mistaken identity, and they're like, "No, I'm not." And some other party member just like nudges them really hard. Like, I mean, yes,
Yes.
I'm
Yes, of
definitely the
course.
person. I am the one person you don't want to disintegrate.
Right. But it is weird because it's like he already thought that. Like that's the reason he stopped attacking the ship was because its creator's last name is like Roy Kirk or something, and it heard Kirk and thought that that meant that that was his creator.
Super
But
lucky, by the way.
yeah, oh, for sure. But then it's also like, oh, are you from Earth? But like if he thinks that that's his creator, he should know where he's from, right?
Maybe, but he is damaged,
He is
as we
damaged.
learn.
Yeah.
So
So that's fair. That's fair. And also thinks that Kirk is his creator when he's not actually. So
yeah, I'm
so
gonna be honest. Nomad's kind of a dumbass.
he is a dumbass. He's a real dumbass. He's got like what's the trope? It's like genius born yesterday, right? It's like
Oh, okay.
it's like it's one of those sub tropes under like manic pixie dream girl. I was having this conversation. I might cut this part. I was having this conversation with a friend of mine when we watched Tron Legacy, and I was
Oh,
like,
yes.
"Oh, Olivia Wilde's character is a manic pixie dream girl,"
Yeah.
and she told me she's like, "No, she's not a manic pixie dream girl. She's a I think she said like chosen one born yesterday or something like that." I was like, "This is the first time
Nice,
hearing of
nice.
this." So
Yeah.
anyway,
Oh, a little column A, a little column B as it comes to Olivia Wilde there. But
yeah. Either way, it's the haircut that's the problem.
yeah, her fuck ass Bob.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, so Kirk, Spock, and McCoy leave Nomad with an engineer called Singh, no relation to Khan, Noonien
Oh,
Singh,
yes.
and go out into the hall where they discuss Nomad. And they are like, okay, so for sure this is the Nomad that launched in the 2000s, but it's way more capable than it could have been back in the 2000s, even the 2000s that we haven't yet reached because the show was made in the 60s, which is weird to
Mhm,
think about.
mhm, mhm.
And but it apparently Nomad was presumed to have been destroyed, I guess, from getting hit by a meteor or something. And that I guess its mission when it was launched was supposed to be peaceful. It was
It
like
was
the
just it was
beta
just
version of the Enterprise. It was supposed to be searching out new
it was
life.
just data collection, right? Not
Yeah,
entirely dissimilar to what we actually did with our space program, sending out probes and
yeah. Didn't
rovers and
That's what I thought of immediately on this episode was didn't we send out a probe that was just like playing music or something?
yeah, we sent it out, and it had Pac-Man and Tetris and Centipede, and then the aliens sent it back,
No.
big monsters to. No, that
No,
happened. I thought I
nope.
saw this documentary.
No, you did not see that man sleep with Qbert. That was not real.
I want to put this on record right now. Full disclosure:
Yeah.
I've never seen Pixels.
Yes, you have.
I legitimately have not
You
seen
watch
it.
bad movies all the time for fun.
I
You have
I
definitely
do,
seen
I
Pixels.
do, but historically, every once in a while, I will put my foot down on something.
You also saw the episode of Futurama that was basically the same principle,
Yeah,
concept. So,
yeah, because Futurama is a good show.
yeah. Which is why you also watch Pixels, because you love trash.
No, it's not true.
Back in the computer room, Singh gets a call from Ahura, who is like asking him to do something. I don't know. It doesn't really matter what it was. But while he's doing it, she starts singing.
Ironically,
And Nomad extends his probe. He gets all excited and he extends his probe and
yeah, he
hovers
does.
out into the hall to go, I guess, find her. But before he does that, we get a scene in the meeting room that I'm sure has an official name, but I have never, I guess, looked it up. And our three kings talk about Nomad's creator, a guy called Roy Kirk, who Nomad has mistaken Kirk for. And they also figure out that while Nomad was originally looking for life, it was not looking, now it's looking for perfect life and destroying everything that is less than perfect, which is everything. And it's also been floating around since 2000. So how many people has it killed?
Oh, so many, so many. It's ripe. It's wiped out empires. It has to have.
Yeah. Any alien race that you see in the shows that take place before this, like Discovery or Enterprise or whatever, that are new to those series, they got killed by Nomad. That's
He's
my
basically
official
like a
instructions.
little. He's a Reaper from Mass Effect.
Yeah, but
He's
just
a one.
stupider.
He's a one-man Reaper, and much more powerful
A
because he could
one-man
just.
cheeseburger
Or
apocalypse.
is he more powerful? Because we see that he can just fly around and straight up spoilers delete people.
Yeah.
But like, what is he can't just like hover over a planet. Well, no, he shot that big green orb.
Yeah, I don't know how he neutralized the planets, but I would assume it was in a faster way than the way that he will later kill security guards. Spoilers.
Yeah, I don't know. I picture it as kind of similar, where maybe he's just flying over like one country at a time and just
Just shooting
deleting
people. Yeah. I mean, it's possible. It's definitely
hundreds of
possible.
thousands of people. That's horrific.
I think damage output wise, he's higher than a Reaper. No, he's just stronger than a Reaper. For sure, he's stronger than a Reaper. Because you take out one of the Reapers in 3 with just like a rocket launcher. I mean, it's a smaller one, but this guy like
Yeah,
absorbs a photon torpedo.
yeah.
He's like, cool. I'll use that for
So,
energy, I guess.
um, ultimate dream matchup: Nomad versus a Reaper. We give this one to Nomad.
We're gonna, yeah, put that, move him forward in the bracket of
Absolutely.
exterminating robots. Oh, him against the Daleks next.
Also, you made me curious, so I kind of looked it up
Yeah.
because in Next Gen, Picard famously has his meetings in what's called his Ready Room.
Okay.
Um, and so I was like, is that, do they call it that in this? I don't think they ever actually call it anything in TOS, but it's very clearly some sort of conference room. I think we're just going to call it his Ready Room.
Sure. Sure. They also continue talking about how it must have encountered, because it's been changed, it must have encountered some other being. It refers to the other at one point. And they're like, it must, whatever that is, it must have changed what his like mission was, and then also made it incredibly powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And they realize that with everyone on the crew being dramatically imperfect, as we've learned over 30 some odd episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Nomad, it's really only a matter of time before Nomad starts killing people.
Absolutely.
So Kirk asks security to find it and I guess lock it up. But before they do, Nomad just kind of floats on into the bridge. And Scotty lets Kirk know that it's there. He like leans over to the PA and he's like, that fucking thing's here, bro.
It's kind of insanely easy for anything and anyone to get on the bridge.
Security is so bad. And it might partially be because in the first season we had like 3 rooms built for the Enterprise, and so it was like, well, where are they going to go next? Gotta be the bridge. But like
So,
everybody who was loose on the ship ended up on the bridge.
so this incarnation, well, no. You get onto the bridge via a turbo lift.
Yeah,
Like the lift takes you straight to the bridge. So I would assume that you need some sort of clearance to just get on the bridge. Like not every maintenance worker can just pop up to the bridge for whatever.
you would hope so. But we've seen like the guy
Any
from
crazy crackpot bearded caveman who we bring onto the ship and lose as soon as we bring him here. They get up here. I don't know how they're doing it. There's
Yeah.
no clearance. There's just an up button. That has to be the case.
There must be no, yeah, because the sweaty guy from Dagger of the Mind, he just like he gets on the bridge super easy. And I mean, he has knocked out a couple security guards. He could have potentially taken like a pass card or something, but
Yeah, it took their eyeball.
yeah, he pulled it out like Loki. So anyway, so Scotty tells Kirk that Nomad is on the bridge, and then Nomad goes up to Uhura, who is still singing, and he's
I
like,
just want to say
"Hey,
this.
man,
I want
the
to say
fuck
this
is
about Uhura's singing.
Yeah,
I know we've established it's kind of her thing. It's her hobby. She's musical,
yeah,
and I'm all for that. Super supportive. I think at the point that you're just singing your tunes over an open radio frequency that's
sure,
meant for work communication, that's a bit unprofessional.
yeah." I recently started working in a cubicle, and I feel like
Yeah.
if somebody else in that room started just like loudly singing, even though she's a pretty good singer, she's just singing like sounds, like it's not a song. It doesn't sound
Yeah.
like. I think it get
I mean,
really annoying really fast.
I respect that she's got the melody in her heart, but we're on the clock.
Yeah, for sure.
Put in your AirPods.
She's got the one in. We've seen
Yeah,
it.
she's got the big proto AirPod.
Anyway, Scotty tries to interfere, and Nomad then immediately shoots him and kills him as Kirk
Literally.
runs into the office.
So not too long ago, there was an episode where an explosion on the console happened, and we said, "Holy shit, Sulu died," and he didn't really die. He got really hurt, but he didn't actually die.
Yeah.
Scotty's fucking dead. Like
He's
they
literally
pronounce
dead.
him dead.
Bones comes
He's
in and says,
actually
he's dead, Jim. He says the thing. He says it.
Holy shit.
Could you imagine, spoilers, could you imagine if this was actually just a series wrap on Scotty? He's in like
Our
12 episodes.
our MVP of the ship up to this point in the series.
I'll be honest with you, season 2 has not been kind to him so far.
No. Put him in a weird, gross work flirting situation that did
Sexual
not pan
harassment.
out for him. And then it killed him.
Yeah. So far, not a great look for Scotty coming into season 2 here.
Maybe
but I heard,
someone up top was like, well, we got this new kid with an accent. Get rid of the old guy with the accent.
right. So Ahura is like very clearly shaken, and then the thing is like, think of music, think of whatever, because he's trying to figure out. I mean, this is before he shoots Scotty, but he's like, what kind of communication is this? Why are you doing this? And she's like, I don't know, fun, I guess, fun and me time. And he's like, insufficient answer or some robot shit. And then he like scans her brain and she collapses. And then Kirk runs over and asks Nomad, A, why he killed Scotty, and B, what the hell he did to Uhura. And it just offers to repair Scott. He's like, would you like me to repair the unit, Scott?
And he looks at Bones, and Bones is like, I can't do it.
He's fucking dead as shit. I can't do nothing. So they agree to let him try, but he Nomad says that it needs a bunch of like scans and stuff. It needs to see tapes is what it says, but in Star Trek, tapes are like files, I guess.
More or less, it needs to know what part of the body to fix, which
it needs to know how the brain works.
Brings up an interesting point. I guess we got very lucky with Scotty having just the slightest amount of plot armor, not to keep him alive, but to keep him from being fully erased, as he does to later people.
Right, yeah, for sure. Nomad looks at the scans and he's like, the brain is insufficiently safeguarded. It's really shitty and bad and it's built wrong. And then he goes to sick bay and he just does it. Like there's not a laser or a light or nothing. He just hovers next to Scotty and then Scotty wakes up.
Listen, I'm glad Scotty's alive. We did miss an opportunity to have like a Frankenstein's monster engineer for the rest of the show.
Oh,
but you know, we'll take Scotty being alive as a win.
Ugh. I hope he would be like DC's Frankenstein, but not the James Gunn version, just like the normal version. The James Gunn's version is like a sex pest. The normal version
he's pretty horny.
Is just like a cool guy.
This show doesn't need any more horniness.
No, it doesn't. And Kirk is just like, hey man, can you fix Uhura, who is now brain dead? And Nomad's like, nah, she's not broken, and she can't read. What do you mean? Apparently, so the B plot of this episode is going to be Uhura, who can no longer read or do math, having to relearn everything except, I guess, the Swahili language.
Yeah.
And like, at first it's kind of cute, but at a certain point you might go like, so she has to relearn everything she's ever learned in like by the next episode? What the hell?
So there's interesting fact about that. So early in season 1 or so, I don't remember exactly how or where they say it, but they do establish that Uhura's first language is Swahili. She speaks fluent Swahili.
It's the salt vampire.
Right. Apparently, upon like writing the script for this episode, nobody remembered that except for Uhura's actress, Nichelle Nichols.
Of course.
And she was like, well, if she lost all of her memories, wouldn't she like forget English too? And she speaks Swahili. And they were like, oh yeah, well, we get what you're saying, but do you speak Swahili? And she was like, no, but Uhura does, is my point.
Uhura does, and I'm an actress.
so they brought in like a linguist to teach her a few words, lines, whatever.
Yeah, I think she only says like, what, 5 words tops in Swahili? Like maybe. That's 2 Duolingo classes. You're good to go.
But the point is, she stood her ground and she was like, "My character speaks this other language, and I think she should do that here."
Hell yeah. I love Nichelle Nichols. What a hero.
Yep, yep, absolutely.
Coolest lady ever. Um, Kirk tells Nomad to lower its screens because apparently that's why it killed Scott. Is he was like, when he asked why he killed Scotty, he was like, he touched my screens or some shit. So he asked him to lower them so that Spock can scan it, which it does let Scott. It lets Spock start, scanning it and doing information, trying to get information off it. But he can't figure out anything worthwhile. And then he's like, I want to mind meld with this computer.
Mm-hmm.
Spock's powers are wildly inconsistent to me. And I'm having a really tough time understanding what the fuck a Vulcan can do.
See, I wasn't gonna say it's inconsistent until we get here. I was completely willing to. Everything seemed once you establish what a mind meld kind of is, you're like, okay, you can telepathically link yourself with someone's brain, and that can either
Right.
fix something mentally in someone or extract information or experience something. I'm like, okay, I get that in like a psychic or empathic kind of way. But here, there is no brain. It is a computer.
Right.
So now I'm confused.
I guess the argument could be because it's been like changed by aliens. Maybe it does have
Yeah.
some kind of like brain, but
There's
even then, it's like A, Spock wouldn't know that,
no.
and B, I don't know that where his power's been crazy because the first time he's like, oh, it's super risky. When I forget who he's the Dagger the Mind guy. I think is the first guy he mind melts with. So he's like, it's super risky, like we don't do it often. Now he's doing it all the time because it's like his thing. So he
Yeah.
did it with him. He did it with the Horta, which seems crazy because a second ago we thought we couldn't even touch the Horta, but he still touches it then. Now he's dancing with this butt plug. But that's not even the one that got me. The first time that I was like, that's insane, how do these powers work, was in not Operation Annihilate, with the disintegration chambers.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember what that one's called.
Either way, he like they're locked in a room and he just like puts a hand up and brain controls a guy outside the room to come and open the door. And I was like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know how this works.
Yeah,
Spock can just do whatever we need him to do.
that one's a bit of a stretch as well. We use the Vulcan to get us out of the problem, right us out of the corner.
Like,
Um,
I'm cool with his other powers, right? Like he's stronger than humans. Sure.
yeah.
The bit in Operation Annihilate where he can like ignore pain because he's like very logical. Sure, I'm down with that too. It's just the mind meld that I'm like, I don't think we thought this one through.
Yeah, they kept it vague enough so I think purposefully were like, can we use the mind meld as an answer to this? And they're like, maybe. So
They said,
do it.
sure.
But I don't have a problem with him because yes, when they introduced it, they had just come up with it, so they're like, it's risky and we've never done this before, but let's do it now. And then he uses it all the time. Yeah, he's got a couple signature moves. He's got the nerve pinch and the mind meld. I see it as like Luffy using Gear 5, or Gear. Even when Luffy used Gear 2, they're like, that's dangerous and you're going to hurt yourself. He's like,
Right.
well, I do it now. So,
Sure.
so yeah, I'm fine with that. It all comes down to him controlling or melding with this probe. It's weird.
Yeah. It's very strange. Either way, though, he mind melds with it, and he finds out that it got hit by a meteor, and then it ran into an alien probe. So not a person, but an alien machine that was for some reason called Tanru.
Okay.
That was supposed to find and sterilize soil samples. So when they were both damaged and combined with each other, what would you call it? The mission to find life and the mission to sterilize soil turned into sterilize life.
It just shuffled like a deck of cards. It's that classic, like, two people bump into each other and all their paperwork flies everywhere, and it's just a scramble to grab all the
Right.
papers.
And then you got to go grab all of Ben Franklin's papers that have spread all over America by the wind. That shit's crazy.
Oh no. All of them.
All of
There
them,
they
every single
go.
one. You know, better catch them fast before they disappear into magic. Kirk then calls it a changeling, and I wanted to point out, A, that's not really what that is, and B, do you know what changelings actually were back in the time that people were talking about changelings, like the Dark
In
Ages?
in the myth of it?
No, not the myth.
No.
What they actually were in the real world.
Oh. No. What are they?
So back in the day, like literally the Dark Ages, like the Iron fucking Age, people were whenever a kid they said a kid had been like touched by a fairy and like replaced.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's the myth. Yeah.
yeah. And the reason that people would think that the kids had changed is because they would become nonverbal, or they would be very like
Uh,
distant, or they would have
okay.
like a very specific interest in one very specific thing and not want to do anything else. It
Yeah.
was literally it was autistic kids.
Okay.
It was autistic kids back in the Dark Ages, and they called them changelings. And they were like, my kid's been replaced by a fairy, and then they would kill the kid.
Okay.
I mean, they had a bunch of different ways where they were like, oh, you got to put it in a boiling pot of water until it admits to being a changeling or whatever. It was a
Well,
bunch of like literal
that's
insane shit.
I don't think that's necessary. I think if you're gonna kill it, if it's a fairy, anyways, probably just don't boil the kid.
Yeah. And then also, it's
Uh,
like, of course, the kid's going to say that it's a changeling at that point because it's like, okay, get me out of this
I'm
pot.
I'm admitting to being a changeling before I go in the pot, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. So,
Um, you know what? Here's something else that's interesting. Um, and you know what? I'm not gonna put this on Kirk because maybe he didn't know
it
yet.
was the 60s.
But what I was gonna say is, changelings are a race of aliens in Star Trek.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there's guys called changelings in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. I mean, I know them from like D&D, but like, yeah, I guess it makes sense that they would also be in space D&D, which is
Uh,
what this is turning into.
Famously, Odo from Deep Space Nine is a changeling. He's the if you've ever seen the guy, he. Oh man, I don't want to say this because it's kind of mean. He's got Matt Smith's face where he doesn't have,
Eyebrows?
the eye. Yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you ever seen him, I like Matt Smith. I think he's perfectly normal looking.
Well,
But
he's not. He
o,
looks good. He doesn't look
o,
normal.
Odo is a changeling, and he's played by actor Rene something super French name,
Okay.
who was the voice of Mr. House in Fallout New Vegas.
Oh shit. Is he playing Mr. House in the season 2 of the Fallout show?
I don't believe so.
Ah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool if he did. Maybe he just doesn't look the right way. Anyway, so Nomad has, after he mind melds, Kirk tells him to like go to containment. He doesn't call it the brig. He calls it like a waiting room or something. It's the brig.
Mm.
So Nomad leaves with 2 security guys, and then immediately leaves, just leaves the brig,
Yeah,
and kills the 2 security officers on his way out by deleting
it's
them.
it's so unfair
Yeah.
that Kirk just says, "Hey, watch this, will you?
Yeah.
Keep your eye on this." Because what are they gonna? Clearly, as we see, there's nothing they can do to stop. They just get deleted.
Yeah.
There's
Hey, can you
and
spend the night with Charles Manson real fast?
no.
I'm your captain.
You know what I'm gonna do if Captain James T. Kirk says, "You there, red shirt with a gun that doesn't work on this probe. I
Yeah.
want you to make sure this probe doesn't leave the brig." I'm getting in the next brig over. I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna get in this cell and wait because you could court martial me, I guess, but it's gonna erase me.
Yeah.
I can't I
At
can't
a
do it.
at a certain point, you have to imagine that people on this ship are like, "Boy, I sure hope that my job is never important to what's going on."
Hmm.
There's a
You
guy whose job it is to like change the light bulbs. And he's like, "God, I hope we don't run into a fucking light bulb alien."
you see one of the main 6 or 7 cast members coming down the hallway, and you just like bolt into a
Yeah.
random
You're
door and
like,
hide.
no, no, no. That's gonna
Because
be a
you
changeling or assault vampire or some bullshit.
you know the second anybody points, it says, "You come with me really quick." I'm dead.
Yeah. the body count on this ship. They must have to restock on
We've said
employees
that
more
before
often
on
than
every time they go back to a star base, they're just like filling up on. It's like, well, we're down to 78 crew members. How many did they say there were? There weren't a ton.
there was like 400.
Oh, okay.
Which, when you see the size of the Enterprise, we don't see in this show, but in the movie, like, well,
Yeah.
the Abrams movie, which may not be the same ship size, but whatever. When you see, like, there's that one scene where it, like, crashes into the city, it's that big. You're like, really, only 400 people? Like, in hindsight, that's a ghost town.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Nomad leaves and he kills the two guys, and then it goes to engineering for some reason, where it starts wanting to improve the engines, and it does. And it improves them to the point where now the thing can go warp 11, even though a couple episodes back, I think it was like warp 7 was the limit. And then at 8, the ship starts falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't repaired the ship to be able to go that fast without being destroyed. No. So it is not doing great. So Kirk runs in and he's like, bro, stop.
This is where we go back to Nomad being a dumbass.
Also,
it's like, I made it go faster. It's
also,
like, you have to understand.
Yeah, you gotta stop. The engine can't run. Like, the engine is not the problem. The ship cannot go that fast. It will shake apart. But also, didn't we establish in earlier episodes that if you go hella fast, you go back in time?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, the time travel's nonsense. We're back on it.
I think
it should be yesterday.
It's a combination of both speed and gravity, is it not? Because they used the gravitational pull of planets and suns to slingshot around things to... Listen, man, do I look like a fucking scientist?
Sometimes.
Well, I play one on TV.
Anyway, so Kirk starts yelling at it after Nomad, like, puts the ship back to normal. He starts yelling at it. And he's like, hey, man, he, for some reason, admits that he is biological. And the Nomad is like, oh, so you're inferior. I got to go reevaluate some stuff. And Spock's like, God damn it. I literally told you not to do this.
They should have said Spock was Kirk.
They suspect that this means it will very soon stop listening to Kirk, and they're probably right. And it also now knows where Earth is. So they're like, and it's going to go to Earth and kill everybody there.
Mm-hmm.
So Nomad hovers away and it kills 2 more security guys, like, for fun. Then it goes to sickbay so it can scan Kirk's medical records. And while it's there, it also shoots Chapel, but because she has a name, she just gets blasted in a non-murder way, in a not deleting way.
Thank goodness.
Good thing. Her terrible wigs. We got to keep them safe. And then it goes to engineering and shuts down life support for fun. So Kirk meets up with Nomad back in engineering, where they just start talking, and the Nomad is like, "Hey, so I'm gonna kill everybody on the ship because the ship is imperfect, or because the people are imperfect, and the ship is also imperfect, but I can fix the ship." And I'm like, "You rewired Scotty's brain. You could probably fix the people too if you really wanted. We could get some Borg like right now. We could just start."
Good than the start.
But anyway, so Kirk starts talking to it, and he does his trademark move, which is talking a computer into killing itself.
Yep, you got to do it. Science fiction staple.
So he is like, so you have to kill everything that's imperfect, that is not perfect. That's your mission, right? Well, psych, bitch, I'm not your creator, and you scan my record, and for some reason still think I'm your creator. Actually, you're kind of a dumbass. You should kill yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it then starts freaking out, and its voice does get a little Dalek-y, I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 guys run in and grab it with some magnets, and then they throw it out into space with the transporter so it can explode somewhere else.
I think it's so funny how they just grab him and go.
Yeah.
They just haul ass with this little stupid trash can.
So Kirk's just really good at this now. He talked Nomad to death. He talked, what was the stupid fucking Return of the Archon's computer? You are not of, what was the name? Doesn't matter. Anyway, he talked that computer to death too. And technically, he talked Chapel's robot husband into killing himself too.
That is,
I'm just saying.
I'm looking up because I thought it made it in my notes, but I apparently missed it. But there is a fact. Yes, this marks one of 4 times that Kirk is able to talk a computer to death. He did it in Return of the Archons,
Nailed
an
it.
episode that we haven't gotten to yet.
Okay.
Wait, I think 2 episodes we haven't gotten to yet.
Okay.
And then
So
What Our
they're
Little Girl's Made Of, honorable mention.
okay. So they do consider making that sexy android shoot herself
hmm
as
hmm
killing a computer with your words. Sure. Nice.
So he's going to do it 2 more times throughout the show.
Considering that we're already like halfway through the show, that's pretty cool. That's just his move. That's his go-to move. It's that and
Well, I
get a
mean,
shoulder out.
if you come up against an evil computer,
Yeah.
that's just what you have to do.
I feel like you could just blow it up. How did he
Well,
kill the ones in the disintegration chamber episode? That's name I wish I could remember because it's now come up twice. I think he just like hits him with a fucking pipe.
those ones you could blow up. This one you shot him and then nothing happened.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, Bones comes into the bridge and he's like, "Ahura's recovering. She'll definitely be a normal character again in the next episode."
Don't worry, Jim. She will speak English again.
Yeah. And then Kirk makes a joke about, it's a shame I had to kill my son. My son, the doctor. Can you imagine? Because he's like, he's had such potential, and he brought back Scotty. Oh, think of
Hardy har, hardy har har.
it was pretty. It was actually pretty funny. I thought it was kind of cute. Anyways, guy, what did you got any other trivia for me?
We see a biographical photo of the scientist Roy Kirk at one point in like the computer,
Mm.
and the photo is of the director of the episode, Mark Daniels, wearing whatever they could grab at the time, which was Scotty's dress uniform.
Oh, he was dead at the time, so
Yeah,
yeah,
that's fair.
he wasn't wearing it.
Already talked about Nichelle Nichols putting her foot down, being based as she was.
Way to go.
Um, Although never credited, this episode, which depicted an Earth-launched space probe that acquires almost unimaginable powers in the course of the search for its creator, this became the inspiration for the plot of the first Star Trek movie, Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Yeah, we're gonna do something very, very, very fucking similar.
Okay, is that one of the other episodes that it was talking about where he talks a computer to death, or was that not? Did that not
No, no,
count?
no, 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 no. Well, that one doesn't. We don't talk that one to death. I don't believe.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
We'll get there. We'll see.
yeah, we will get there. All right. So Lieutenant Leslie, we know Lieutenant Leslie.
No, is he the other? Is he the new helmsman or the one that's not Chekhov?
He's the guy at the helm, and we've seen him before, I think,
Yeah.
but I don't know where off the top of my head. But the point is, for some reason, he's wearing a gold uniform in this when he normally wears red.
I don't think that the colors mean anything yet.
I think the fact that he's at the helm is also weird because I think whatever he normally does is not helmsman
Well,
work
no,
or
'cause I
navigation
think-
work.
I remember looking up some stuff, and I'm pretty sure the guy who's normally, I mean, obviously now it's Chekhov, but before in season 1, the guy who was normally at the helm, his name was like Blackburn or something like that, and he was the guy who was the bunny in Shore Leave. That I know because I looked that up after we talked in the last episode about it.
Right, of course.
So Leslie, yeah, I don't know. The name sounds familiar, but I don't
See.
know where he usually is.
Let me see. Star Trek TOS Leslie. Well, I will say the actor's name is Eddie Paskey, and he was. Oh, haha! Last time we saw him, at least at one point, he was wearing a blue shirt.
Was he in Squire of Gothos? Is he one of the guys from that?
Oh, I think he's wearing. I don't know what. I'm not gonna try to pinpoint what episodes he's wearing what color shirt, but he's in Where No Man Goes Before, or Where No Man Has Gone Before. The Squire of Gothos, yes. I think he does like background work in a couple various. This Side of Paradise. He gets around. He's been here.
Honestly, considering how often people are getting bodied in this show, he's doing good. Although to be fair, if he did die in one of the other episodes, they probably would have just kept using him and expected people to not notice or care.
Damn. So yeah, we've seen him in a red shirt, a blue shirt, and a gold shirt.
He's just support staff, you know? He fills in
Yeah,
where he's got to go.
He's the flex spot.
Yeah.
He's your ultimate flex.
He's your tight end.
Plug him in wherever you need him.
Yeah.
His stats are terrible, but he's there in a pinch.
So Sky, how you feel about Changeling?
Um,
The Changeling.
I'm a little middling on it. I'm not super for or against it. I think the part that confused us most is what the hell is up with Spock's powers? Where's the limit?
Yeah, for sure.
I like the little robot nomad enough. Kirk makes it think to death, which we've seen before and will see again.
I think that's how I'm gonna
It's
go.
it's a perfectly yeah. Tell me about it. It's a perfectly serviceable little Star Trek episode. I don't think it warrants a thumbs down of any sort. So I will give this an engage.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely with you. I'm definitely giving it an engage as well. I think it's weird that this is like one of the episodes that I know about, and I don't know why I know about it. It might be like I heard about someone talking about it in a YouTube video or something at some point.
Yeah.
But I definitely like knew Nomad was a thing. So as soon as they were like, "Oh, Nomad," well, like I read it in the blurb under the thumbnail, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be like a good episode," and it is. Like it's good. But yeah, I don't think it's like particularly stand out. I think, this season as a whole has looked better. This is actually the one where I first noticed that like the bridge looks like it's nicer.
Oh
I
yeah.
think I
It's a
said
little
it in an
cleaner.
episode from last week, but this is where I first like really noticed it. So like it's a well produced episode. It looks good. The story is concise. Like I understand it. I think everything about it is good. I don't love the Uhura brain rot side story. That doesn't really do it for me. But
Yeah, it
yeah, I
doesn't
think
really. The Uhura thing doesn't add anything really.
no, it doesn't.
Other than, I mean, it could add like a, oh no, there's stakes. I hope Uhura gets better, but Scotty already fucking died.
Right. And so did four other people who we didn't even give a fuck about their name was.
No, no.
So yeah, I don't know. I definitely am still giving it a thumbs up because I think it's like it is an episode that if I would not avoid watching it on a
Mhm,
rewatch, I wouldn't like skip it or anything.
mhm.
But I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, cool, this one. You know what I mean? So
It's perfectly fine.
yeah,
But now, Daniel, put back on that evil goatee beard of yours.
I never took it off. I shaved my face like this.
That's true. You do that regularly in the real world. That's how you live. People don't know that. The little drawing of you in our thumbnails, you have a full beard. That's just so people listening think you're not evil, but you are
Yes, they
for a
should know
fact.
that by now though.
Yeah, they should. Let's talk about Mirror Mirror.
Mirror, mirror. So this is another like super famous episode. Um,
Yeah.
this is obviously more so than the Changeling, although I knew who Nomad was. Mirror, mirror is one that like even before sitting down for episode one, Mirror, mirror was a title that I knew. Like
Mhm.
I knew about the mirror universe. I knew about Spock with a goatee, like all that
Mhm.
shit because it gets spoofed everywhere.
Yeah, it transcends the reason that goatees are like a trope of evil characters is because of this. So
Yeah, which is a little funny. I mean, we'll get into it, but like the only guy who has a goatee is not even evil.
yeah, he's the least evil one there.
So like,
But to be fair, there's one character with a big scar on his eye, and
that's not a
that's
big
evil
scar.
too.
That is, yeah,
So,
yeah.
and the other one's Russian.
He was always Russian though.
Yeah, but now he's Russian and evil.
Ooh. But yeah, so I was excited when this one came up. This was one I was looking forward to.
Yeah.
And Mirror Mirror starts on, I believe, a planet called Halkan. Halkan? That's what I wrote in my notes.
I wrote episode starts Shakespeare in the Park has rain delay.
I wrote, on some planet, there's a lightning flash, and an old man tells Kirk that he's not giving him nothing.
That's true.
Um, so Kirk is talking to this planet, or the people on this planet, to see if they can get permission to mine dilithium crystals because that's their big energy source and they need it. And I guess they exist plentifully enough on this planet that it's worth mining. Honestly, I think it's a little weird that they're not, that the thing is like, we want to mine them ourselves and not like, can we pay you to mine them for us? Either way, the guys say no because they are super duper pacifists and they're like, you guys are peaceful now, the Federation, but you might not always be, which is a good prediction for how the TV shows and movies have all gotten significantly more violent.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true.
Granted, most of those
Um,
are prequels, but whatever.
but the nerds won't give us dilithium crystals because they're worried about their own permanent records.
Yeah. So as the ground crew goes to leave, the old man's like, "You have the military capability. You could just take whatever you want from us by force. Like we don't have an army." And Kirk's like, "You're right, and we won't. So think about that."
Yeah, what the fuck? I mean, I know that he's like trying to show that he has the moral high ground or whatever, like an asshole.
Right.
But why
Like
he
a
hits Kirk
prick.
with the "you could beat me up and take it, ooh woo."
It would be a shame if you were to step on my balls, Captain Kirk.
Like what the hell, dude? Get your shit together. I just wanted your space rocks.
Yeah, I did
I was
also
gonna pay
know
you for them.
that like the way that we know that these are aliens and not strictly humans is that they have little blue dots on their forehead, and that's it. That is
Little
the
blue,
only thing.
little blue tattoo at the center of the forehead, and it has like little like it's almost like a nautical star.
A little bit, yeah. Um, the Enterprise is somehow getting buffeted by the thunderstorm, despite the fact that they are in space, and that's not how storms work, is what I wrote here. They call it an ion storm, which like technically could be different, but like it's a thunderstorm. Like we see it.
You know, I forgot to mention. I do want to say when the guy is like, "Ooh, you could beat me up."
Right.
Kirk has a line where he says like, "Right, but we won't." I like
Right.
that line.
It
That's
is
really good.
that is a good line. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So anyway, when Kirk, Uhura, Scotty, and Bones, who is the ground team here, go to beam up, something goes wrong, and they end up on a different version of the Enterprise, where their clothes have all changed to become more flashy, and Spock has a goatee and immediately does a Nazi salute.
Yeah, Spock's got a goatee. All the red shirts are hiling.
Hmm.
But ignore all that. Uhura got her tummy out.
Yeah, Uhura's in a midriff, which seems very scandalous for the time. Everyone else has like a gold sash and a knife, like a weird looking knife. The Federation logo is now a picture of Earth with a sword stabbed through it.
Right.
And Kirk is wearing a frilly shouldered gold vest and knee high leather boots for some reason. Nobody else is, and I don't think it's like part of the captain uniform, but he is wearing knee high leather boots.
They very clearly wanted to. So, other than like the little sashes that everybody's wearing, everyone still looks more or less militaristic. Spock had, everyone has like badges on them, like medals pinned
Right.
to them. When they got to Kirk, they were like, "We really need to sell that he's like more of a pirate. He's a pirate
For
now."
sure. That is what that is. And then Ahura gets naked, I guess.
She's got her tummy out,
Yeah.
and that's
Is that weird? Because, like,
that's kind of cool.
we see this. I mean, she is hot. She's gorgeous. Nichelle Nichols, an absolute knockout. But is it weird that, like, in this universe, she dresses that way when she has the same job?
Mm, well, more or less, everyone has the same job. They're just evil, and I guess
Right.
you gotta wonder where the differences start. Where did the split happen? Did they say? They do say in this, right?
I don't think so. They don't say
It's
like what the point in history when things changed. I don't think they say
it's
that. They
it's
say
not
that like
like
everything is this. There's one. I know what you're talking about. There's one point where they're in med bay, and Bones is like everything's different except this acid stain that I did a week ago, and like that's so. A lot of it is the same, but
so it's more like the if you ever seen you specifically, Daniel, if you've
huh?
ever seen the Jordan Peele movie Us, have you seen that one?
No.
It's good, and there's a without going into it too much, there's like basically two different worlds, but like the actions are kind of mirrored between the two. Like the doppelgangers of each one perform the same actions, kind of. So like, does he imply like I spilled acid here, he spilled acid here, we're doing the same thing? They're just evil about it.
They're just worse. Yeah, maybe
But it's not like Earth X where like everything was fine until the Nazis won,
one.
and
Yeah,
now we're all evil.
yeah. They do at one
It,
point say that it's the Earth Empire or something instead of the Federation.
yeah,
So
they do say
it had
empire
to have
instead
been at least long enough ago that
before the
the entire
Federation started.
branding, yeah, is different.
Yeah.
And they do a Nazi
Um,
salute, so maybe it's the same thing. Maybe
the
they
fact
walked
that
into the
they hit
universe. Maybe
that's what's crossing my streams.
it's the universe where Edith Keeler lived.
Holy shit, Daniel,
We figured it out.
that's what it is. It's an alternate timeline where Edith Keeler lived,
Oh
and
my
now Kirk is a
god.
pirate.
It all makes sense. It all makes sense. It couldn't have been possible. There were two different Nazi universes. That's crazy.
No, but I will say this about it. The Nazi influence here,
Right.
especially comparing to recent shows that have had. It's been long enough. I'll say Peacemaker.
Yeah, yeah.
There are still black people on this crew.
Yeah, actually the
So
crew is like if anything more
it
diverse.
feels a little more diverse, actually.
And it might just be that we see more people because there's security guards everywhere, and a lot of the security guards are black. But then also they make a point of pointing it out because at one point Spock shows up and he's just got another Vulcan guy with him.
Damn.
So Nazi world has like, for some reason, more diversity, which is crazy. We love killing each other and other people, but
They can't be Nazis then. I will say there is kind of a striking similarity to how they act in this episode and just like how the Klingons act as well.
oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like they're just like brute force, power hungry, strongest warrior. But it's a little more cutthroat here, I guess, in the sense that the Klingons have more honor. Here they're all backstabbing each other, so I guess I kind of take it back. But they're all wearing sashes.
Spock's goatee has no honor.
Did the Klingons wear sashes? They did, right?
They do, yeah. Worf's got one.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. It's not like around his waist. It's like a Miss America thing, but
Yeah, it's just like a bandolier almost.
yeah. Well, because he's Chewbacca.
Yeah, he is Chewbacca.
So, anyway, so Goatee Spock orders Sulu to plan a laser barrage on the Halkin cities, and says, it's a shame that they chose suicide. Then Spock immediately turns and starts reprimanding Transporter Chief Kyle for not correctly compensating for the interference from the storm, and then he takes out a badge called an agonizer and puts it on Kyle's chest and tases the fuck out of him.
Man, does he?
Jesus Christ.
He I can only imagine that it sends such specific electric currents through the human body that it just does CBT.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just pulverizing Kyle's genitalia.
That's the scream.
Poor bastard.
So Spock asks if the beam up had any bad effects, and Kirk is like, yes, I feel whatever, a little dizzy. We're all gonna go to the sick bay and talk without you. See you later. So they go to McCoy's office, which is a new set for this season, and again, still looks cool. They talk, and they realize that they're in an alternate universe, and that their counterparts are probably on their world. And they spread out to figure out some way to get home and what's going on. Uhura goes straight to the bridge to listen to some transmissions so that they can figure out what sort of orders they had when it came to the Halkin situation. And when she's there, she immediately gets accosted by Scarface Sulu.
Scarface Sulu, who not only is wearing red, but he's wearing red because he's head of security now?
Right. But he still sits in the same seat.
He's got 2 jobs and 2 paychecks.
He must have killed the other guy.
He definitely did.
Uhura turns him down, and he's like, you play too many games or something, I don't remember. And then Kirk enters, and Uhura tells him that he was ordered to destroy the Halkins if he couldn't get what they wanted. But they talk for a long time, and basically what happens is he delays, and he gives them 12 hours to consider the offer that they made. This is in direct violation with the Empire, which scares a lot of people on the ship. And Spock says that he'll have to report him, and Kirk is like, you're free to do whatever you want, dude. But then Kirk leaves and goes down 1 floor on the turbo lift and immediately gets attacked by evil Chekhov, who is exactly the same as normal Chekhov, except he's making a weird face.
And he's got little goons with him.
He's got goons, because I guess
his oogly boogly boys.
He's got his oogly boogly boys. Because I guess they make a point of mentioning at one point that like the officers have people who work for them. They have like specific henchmen. So there's like factions on the ship.
Yeah.
But he tries to assassinate Kirk so that everyone can go up a rank, which I don't think would put Chekhov anywhere near the captaincy. I think he's like basically an ensign. But one of the crew members who's there, and is called Wilson, I guess, according to my notes, saves him, and they knock out all the attackers. And then Wilson's like, "Can I get a promotion and or join your hench people?" And Kirk's like, "Yeah, man," and then knocks him out too for fun.
I guess he was just insulted by the brash question. I don't know.
Some other
Or
crew member,
he needed, because he just got his ass kicked by Chekhov of all people, so he needs to like
right.
get his testosterone back up. Show he's not, you know,
He's not
he
weak.
can handle himself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
there you
sure.
go.
And some other crew member is there. It's like an older balding guy who I guess is one of evil Kirk's hench people. And he's like, "Hey, do you want me to take check off to the torture booth?" And Kirk's like, "Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, that's what we do, right?" Bones Kirk
He
and
didn't have to say yes. I know that he would have
I
seemed
mean-
super suspicious if he didn't say yes.
Yeah,
But later we do see Chekhov in said torture booth, and Kirk's like, probably shouldn't have done that.
probably shouldn't have done that. Bones Kirk and Scotty meet in Kirk's quarters where they talk to the computer, which now has a guy's voice, R.I.P. Margel Barrett or whatever.
Because we're evil
Yes,
over here.
women can't be doctors in this universe.
No, women's can't be computers.
Or doctor. Yeah. It confirms the alternate universe theory, the computer. And it also says that the Enterprise is now ISS, which I don't know exactly what that means, but it's not good.
Oh yeah, what does that I stand for?
I think ISS is either German or Russian. Because you know how, like, British is HMS for, like, Her Majesty
Yeah,
Service?
Her Majesty's.
Yeah. I
And then-
think
and then-
ISS is, like, maybe Russia or something. They also make some lines about the security be acting like a Gestapo, and that there's apparently, when Bones went to the med bay, there were two nurses taking bets on how long it would take from someone to pass out from the pain instead of like helping them not die, which is crazy.
You know what? If you take away like the backstabbing part, like the constant attempts of mutiny,
Yeah.
this is kind of Warhammer.
Yeah, no one's trying to like commune with the machine spirit or anything yet, though.
No. Well, we did that in the last episode, Daniel.
That's true. That's true.
We literally communed with the machine spirit.
It's also missing the like, all glory to the Emperor, like, you know, that whole thing, because that's very much the vibe.
See, that's what it's missing. That's why there's so much mutiny, because we're not unified under the God Emperor.
Right. That's what Kirk's gonna be soon. Evil Kirk.
Well, if he assassinates enough people, he'll go up in the ranks
He's just got to kill God.
to God Emperor. Yeah,
And in our universe, he's already kind of killed one.
and he's gonna keep going.
So they come up with a plan to get home, but they're like, the way that we're going to do it will somehow alert Sulu. He'll like see it on a security console, so we need her to go and distract him with a sexy fan dance that I'm not supposed to know that she does yet, but like I know that that's a thing.
That's a movie.
They question what their evil versions. I wrote this down. I think this is the funniest part of the whole fucking episode. They immediately go, "Oh, I wonder what our evil versions are doing right now," and then it just hard cuts to all their evil versions getting thrown straight into prison.
Yeah.
Spock's
this
like,
is
no,
kind of-
not again, not this. Mm-mm.
They don't imply that like the evil guys are gonna be sneaky in the same way that they're being sneaky, but I couldn't help but kind of just assume that might be the case. Maybe we see them get on board the same way, and they're like, everything's different. Everyone's softer here. We could take over and do some bad shit.
Well-
Ha 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 ha. Muaha. But you're right. We hard cut. They're like, we gotta get back before they're able to cause enough damage on our ship. Who knows what those evil bastards are up to? And it's hard cut to them screaming, "We're evil! We're evil!"
Yeah.
as Spock's locking them in the brig.
Or as like hissing up on the bench or something. I don't know. Well, because probably what happened is that Kirk beamed in and he was like, "All right, fucking kill him." Like shoot everyone down on that planet. And Spock was like, "Excuse me, sir?
Well, that's wrong.
That's not my guy. That's not my boyfriend, Kirk." Anyway, back on the ISS Enterprise, which we still don't know what that means. Kirk runs into Spock with a bodyguard who's a Vulcan. So yeah, hey, is it weird that there's more diversity in the evil universe than there is in ours? To which I immediately answered in my own notes, yeah, a little bit. Spock says he's glad Chekhov failed. This is still on the ISS, on the evil one. Spock says that he's glad Chekhov failed because he doesn't want to be captain, and if Kirk died, he would take up the helm, the leadership. They pass Chekhov in the murder tube, which upsets Kirk.
It's the Imperial Starfleet
Well, what does it mean in the real world?
Oh, I don't know. Is that what I was supposed to look up?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Oh, I was looking up in the context of Star Trek. The I stands for Imperial.
Oh, I mean that makes sense.
Did, okay, as long as you weren't already assuming that. I'm done looking this up because
Okay.
it gave me the fucking Google was snarky at me, and it was like the International Space Station. So now I'm
Oh,
just done.
thanks, Google. Anyway, they pass by Chekhov. He's in the murder tube, and Spock's like, "I assume you're going to leave him in there until he dies." And Kirk's like, "Nah, I haven't made up his mind in my mind yet." Spock's like, "Hmm, this is
Hmm.
weird. This is weird behavior." Spock then asks Kirk if he intends to continue his unusual behavior, and they continue talking for a while about mostly how they just like don't want to be enemies with each other because neither of them see any benefit in killing each other. I guess, which is cool. Even in this universe, they're friends. I guess, kind of, maybe.
Uh,
At least not enemies.
their love transcends different universes.
So Spock leaves, and then Kirk immediately orders for Chekhov to be taken out of the hurt tube and put into his quarters instead. And then we get like a 1 second shot of Bones and Scotty breaking into engineering.
Where they climb another ladder. The ladder budget has gone through the roof.
Well, they're not in the Jeffrey tube yet, but they will be soon. This is where they like knock a guy out at the door.
Oh, I see, I see, I see. Well, he's gonna climb a ladder, and I think it's just they want to show that we are set. We've built different layers to it now, and now we can climb ladders.
Yeah. Anyway, Kirk enters his quarters, where he finds a beautiful woman called Marlena asleep in his bed, and they talk a little
Uh-oh.
bit, and she assumes that because he's acting weird, she's like, "You're not afraid of the Empire." Uh, that must mean that whatever weird plotting has led you to act different means that you are going to take over the Admiralty or something. And he's like, Yes, correct."
Like the most evil answer, the
Then
most
Spock
evil
comes,
sounding answer.
yeah, for sure. Then Spock comes over the intercom and lets Kirk know that he was just given orders to kill Kirk if the Hulkins are not dead by sunrise. So
Okay, we've
Marlena's
got
like,
till sunrise.
"Oh man, that's great. Spock is the only person on this ship decent enough to warn Kirk. It's a shame that we'll have to kill him about it." And Kirk's like, "I'm not gonna what? I'm not gonna do that." And she's like, "Well, but you could use the murder machine that you've got in your wall here." She's like, "What?"
Oh, what now? Who now? What?
So she shows him the Tantalus field, which is a computer screen in his bedroom that apparently can just look up anyone, anywhere, and kill them. That I guess he took from some aliens and in this universe used to kill Pike and become captain.
The delete anyone machine.
Mm-hmm.
The
Oops, I'll
delete
kill.
anything machine that has some sort of omnipresence because you just like type in beep boop beep Spock and then it shows you Spock where he is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So she offers to kill Spock, but he stops her again, which amazes Marlena. And this is where she's like, "Oh, you're going to be king of the world or whatever. I'm glad that I'm your lady." And he like kisses her, but I guess not enough. So she gets upset and she leaves through a back door. And then Scotty calls over because she couldn't be in the room while they were talking. Scotty calls over and says they have 3 hours to get home. We needed a ticking clock, so Scotty sets it up. He's like, we're all gonna do our independent things, and then we're gonna meet up in sickbay. Okay, bye." So Spock does some research. Evil Spock, goatee Spock, because he's suspicious of the landing team. And then Sulu calls him and is like, "Hey man, I hope that you kill Kirk real good, because I don't know." There's a lot just kind of like going on. Everyone is like chasing their own journeys at this point.
There's more plotting and backstabbing in the Mirror universe than there is
Yeah,
in Game of Thrones.
it's all over the place. Then Marlena comes back into the room and she's wearing a very thin, brightly colored robe, and she tries to seduce Kirk. But he tries to leave because he's on a time crunch, and she gets like really upset because I guess she thinks he's breaking up with her. So she's like, "I'll go be a different captain's woman. I spent so long trying to blah 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 blah." She says something about like, "I'll go through all the captains in the fleet if I have to," and he's like, "Whoa, hey," and then he like kisses her real good, and he's like, "You're my woman until I say you're not."
Yeah. He's on a very tight schedule, but maybe he's got a minute to chase a little tail, you know?
Yeah.
It's
To be
possible.
fair,
Also,
Marlena is probably the most beautiful woman that's been on this cast so far.
yeah, well, she's very scantily clad
Even before then,
comparatively
well,
in
I guess she
this,
has her
but
midriff out. But in 2025,
um,
that's not that scandalous.
no, 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 but like in for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, he, she, I think during when she starts yelling at Kirk and saying that she'll sleep with 1,000 captains before she lets his company die. Um, I think she mentions like her military rank, like she's a lieutenant or something.
Right.
I don't remember exactly what it is, but she says she has a rank, and I'm like, whoa, hang on, she's a military ranked floozy.
Correct. That's a rank in the Empire.
Okay. I mean,
But
as far as we can tell, that's just her official position.
I think that she doesn't say that she has a different one, but when she's fell asleep in his bed in the first place, she does say like, I think she might be like a doctor or something, because she does say that there was a bunch of problems caused by the storm, and so that's why she's tired, and so she fell asleep in his bed. So she's doing something else. She's not just like,
Okay.
making
Okay.
out with people for money or whatever. She does have a position.
Because on the surface, she just seems to be some sort of bed slave.
Yeah, well, that's
But
probably how Evil Kirk sees her.
but in maybe she has a side hustle is what we're
Yeah,
getting at, hoping for.
she has a side hustle in quantum physics.
Okay.
So she's
All right.
secretly a genius, I guess. Anyway, he leaves again, and she starts watching him on the Tantalus Field thing, because she's suspicious of him now.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes and meets up. Or sorry, no. Now Scotty and Bones are in the Jeffries tube thing, which is where they have to be. Which is where they have to do the thing that's going to cause a disturbance that Sulu will be able to see on his console. So now Ahura has to distract Sulu. Everyone's got something to do. It's a good episode.
And she distracts him the same way Bugs Bunny would distract Elmer Fudd, where she acts all sexy, and it works immediately.
But then she like doesn't like it. It works too well because she's like, this guy is creepy. Even though George Takei is very gay,
Yes.
he is very sleazy in this scene. He's a
Oh, yeah.
good actor. But so she doesn't like how quickly the seduction works and how quickly he's like touching her. So she switches to grabbing his knife and holding him at knife point.
Yeah.
And and you know what? And I respect it. But she backs out of the room, and now she's, I assume, heading to medbay. Kirk goes to the transporter room because he's got to like do a thing to make it so they can transport back to their universe. But he is intercepted by Spock, who is suspicious of everything. And Spock holds Kirk at gunpoint, and Kirk then, for some reason, is able to lead him to sickbay. That part was unclear to me. He's like, come with me, and then they all meet up in sickbay.
Right.
And then I wrote, and all the stunt people have a fight.
Yep. That's just going to keep popping up in our respective notes. That's going to keep happening.
Yeah.
All the stunt people are going to get to do stuff.
All the stunt people have a fight until Kirk breaks what I think is one of the skulls from McCoy's office over Spock's head, which I guess puts him in critical condition.
So, okay, yeah, let's take this one beat at a time. First of all, it is a cool little fight. Everyone throws punches. Everyone gets tossed around.
Because Spock is very strong.
I think even Uhura tries to like do a tussle where she falls over or something. I don't know.
She ends up like crawling under of the beds, and she hands
the thing, and I believe you because this is medbay, so I believe you that it's like one of like the display skulls.
I just assumed.
Bones has, but it looked like a big fucking conch shell. I was like, did he just hit him with a big conch shell? And then immediately it does take down this very strong Vulcan in one hit over the head, which, protect your head. But then is it Bones that says he'll die without immediate treatment? And right. I was like, for real?
He's got a real bad case of the CTE.
Spock, they took advantage of Spock's infamous soft spot.
Yeah.
His fucking open font nail right at the top of his whole head.
So they knock him out, but then as soon as Bones is like, oh, I got to move him onto one of the beds to help him not die, then Sulu runs in with a couple of guards to try and kill them. But Marlena, who's been watching the whole thing on the boob tube, just deletes all of the guards, but for some reason not Sulu.
She deletes them one at a time,
which is terrifying, I'm sure, for everybody.
Yeah.
But everyone but Bones well, they knock out Sulu, and then everyone except Bones leaves to go to the transporter room, and Bones is like, "I'll be right there. I'm just gonna save Spock real fast." But then Spock wakes up and mind melds with him. So now Evil Spock knows everything. So Marlena and Evil Spock now know everything by just watching the show.
Yeah, it
Um,
happens.
they all go to the transporter room. Marlena meets up with them in the transporter room as well, and she wants to go with Kirk back to his universe. She's like, "This universe blows, and I want to go with you." And he says no, and I'm like, honestly, take her with you. She seems cool.
Yeah, I mean,
She's ride or die. She's clearly doesn't
she
want to be in this universe,
she is
which
ride or
sucks.
die, but she is also very quick to just erase people from existence.
Yeah, but people who were gonna kill her friends.
I'm just saying it's a red flag.
If three people pulled guns on me and you had the kill them button and you didn't push it, I would be mad at you.
Well, I've got my own red flags, Daniel. I don't know what to say.
Anyway, he tells her that she can't go, so she pulls a gun, but Ahura beats her up and takes it. So that lasts about 1 second. But
Hell
hey,
yeah,
Ahura gets to
Uhura.
do a fight, which is pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
It's not like a great fight, and it takes 1 second, hey,
I,
she did a
I
thing.
don't want to take away from Ahura getting a lot of screen time in
Uh-huh.
both episodes we're talking about today.
You're gonna say it.
Did she get all the screen time in this episode specifically because she was like a third naked?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say she's supposed to take the gun from her, but instead drops it.
Oh, no, I didn't even. I
She
didn't
drops it on the
even.
ground and then picks it up.
I didn't
And I
even
think she's
register that.
supposed to just grab
Well,
it.
she's not a combatant. She's not used to it. She's like,
That's communications. I thought that's what you were gonna say.
that is
Um,
funny.
does she get more screen time because she's hot and partially naked? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think that's probably how it worked out back then.
But honestly, I'm surprised that they were even showing all that skin back in the fucking 60s.
Oh, we'll get to it in my interesting facts.
Oh, oop. Anyway, then something goes wrong, and something with the terminal changes, and now someone has to stay behind to hit the button. Which, hey, that's an opening for Marlena, I guess. Now she gets to go, except she
That
doesn't.
is that's so funny that she's like, "This is my chance," but then another
Yeah.
person comes in and is like, "No, I'll do it."
Then Bones and Spock come in because first of all, at the point that he says no, we only have enough power or whatever to send back the five. I think he says of us that came here. Who is it? Him, Ahura, Scotty, and Bones. Four. That's four.
Right.
So we only have enough power to send back the four of us that are here. But then Bones isn't there, and she's like, "Well, Bones isn't here, so I'll go with you." And he's like, no, we gotta wait for him. And then this happens. She's like, okay, so I get a spot now, right? And then no, it's
No.
honestly, it really sucks for her. I
We're
feel
not
so bad
taking
for
you.
Marlena. They should have taken her. Genuinely, I wish that they had.
Go away. Yeah, we leave Scotty behind.
Fuck Scotty, get him out. He's been weird.
He hasn't been the same since he became a Frankenstein's monster.
That's what I'm saying, dude. But no, so Bones comes in with Spock, and Spock's like, I'll do it. Don't worry. Everyone get on the shit. You're getting out of here. But before they leave, Kirk is like, okay, hey, man, you could run this thing.
This part made me laugh, where it's just like, I wrote it down. I don't like how I wrote it down. I just couldn't think of a better way to phrase it. But Kirk spends his final moments of the being in this universe virtue signaling, where he's like, fix your whack ass world, you dumb Vulcan.
It is a little weird. So, because that's the thing, right? So Marlena like wants to be a captain's woman. So as soon as Kirk is encouraging Spock to kill Kirk, take over the ship, and then I think do some amount of like a military coup because they're talking about how like the Empire is not built to last.
That's probably true. Although it got this far.
Yeah, but that's the point that they're making is they're like it's spread too thin. They've been killing everybody instead of recruiting people or like making
true,
peace
too.
treaties. So he's like, okay, so kill me, take over the ship, and then like build your own empire with blackjack and hookers. So he's gonna end up with Marlena because she's wanting to be a captain's woman, and in
I
this
guess
universe she's got a
theoretically.
goatee. So I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
he'll sleep with a woman.
Yeah.
Either way, they're gonna have to be like allies because they're the only one who knows what's going on.
Well, it depends on how down with the cause either one of them are. See, it's funny because you think like, I know that a change has to start somewhere,
Yeah.
but you'd think just like one ship, one mutiny couldn't like topple this entire like planetary spanning empire. But if there's one person that could get the ball rolling on that, it's probably Spock.
It's almost certainly Spock. Yeah.
Um, so he could, yeah, give it a shot. I don't think it'll work though, but that's just because I think we, not in this show, but in other shows, return to the mirror universe one point or another.
Yeah. Maybe. Um. Anyway, so Spock's like, I'll think about it, and then they all go home. And then Good Spock tells them that the bad guys were just really bad actors and couldn't blend in at all. So
Yeah,
Bones makes
that
a
was
joke.
the
Yeah.
easiest thing.
Yeah,
Spotting
he's like,
these
"Fuck 'em."
Nazis.
And then Bones makes a joke about how Spock looked better with a beard. And then, surprise, surprise, Good Universe Marlena comes in with a worse haircut. Because I guess she has worked here for like a week and just nobody knew.
Damn.
And then I wrote, and she'll definitely be in more episodes, right? Right? I really liked Marlena. I thought she was a good actress, and I'm mad that she's not in stuff.
Nope.
And that's Mirror Mirror. There you go. One of the most famous episodes of Star Trek. In the bag,
Definitely.
baby.
Definitely. So interesting fact. This episode took like a month to complete because once they began filming, Barbara Luna, who played Marlena,
Mm.
was diagnosed with strep throat, so they had to postpone the kissing scene.
Couldn't they just do like a stage kiss where they don't really kiss?
So first of all, no, because William Shatner wouldn't let that happen, I'm assuming.
I'm surprised he wouldn't just go for the strep throat, to be honest.
So here's how it's phrased here, and this is why it made the cut of interesting facts. It's so funny. They couldn't risk Shatner getting sick until she was. They had to postpone it until she was, quote, medically cleared.
So
Like she's a wrestler.
So she's a wrestler.
Like she's a football player.
So that bit where she leaves the room and then comes back in a different outfit, it's because that's like 3 weeks later.
Probably.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's really funny. Ugh.
In the original outline, the mirror universe was less evil.
Oh.
I don't want to say not evil because I don't know, but they were maybe not evil. They were backwards in the terms of their technology. Like they didn't have phaser weapons. Kirk was married to a nurse.
That's
Spock-
insane.
Spock didn't act Vulcan at all.
Kirk believing in monogamy? Impossible.
And also, apparently, McCoy was originally the one that was supposed to have a beard.
Yeah. Honestly, I was expecting everyone to have a beard, so just because of pop culture.
The actor who played Tharn, Vic Perrin, I'm assuming Tharn was one of the guys on the Shakespeare planet, right?
Oh, sure. Okay.
One of the blue dot dudes. This is his second appearance in Star Trek in as many weeks because he was the voice of Nomad last time.
Oh, wow. I wonder
How
if they
fun is
filmed them
that?
close to each other and they were just like, hey, you're already here. You want to do a thing?
Maybe. So talking about women's tummies.
Tommy.
So I'm gonna say allegedly because there's kind of mixed reports on this, but I guess Star Trek wasn't allowed allegedly to show women's navels because old television. Can't have a man and a woman sleeping in the same bed in the 50s kind of thing.
Right.
There's a story here that I don't know how true it is about them filming Uhura in her sexy shirt, and they accomplished that by like having the PA take the standards and practices representative to lunch, and then they filmed all of Uhura's scenes. That just sounds too silly to be true. In fact, I think it is untrue.
Like they would still have to get it past censors like once
Yeah,
it's edited, right?
That's not. It can't be real. But also, it's not. It's definitely not real because this isn't even the first girl tummy we've seen in Star Trek. In Shore Leave, when McCoy has all those ladies with him, all their bellies are out, all their navels are exposed.
What about Green Lady and the pilot in the cage?
She was belly dancing, but does a green belly count as a real belly?
Couldn't tell you.
Don't know. Yeah, no, I think it's entirely a myth that they weren't allowed to show tummy because why else would they have so much of the episode with Uhura so exposed?
Right.
Like risk wasting all this footage doesn't make any sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And here's the funniest thing:
Hmm.
in the wake of this episode, a bunch of what are called child fans started writing in. They wrote a write-in letter campaign suggesting that the concept of a captain's woman be carried over to the main series as a whole.
So they just wanted Kirk to have a girlfriend.
To which, yeah, I guess so. To which Gene Roddenberry told his assistant to write back and say, "Ask your parents what a captain's woman is."
Yeah.
Okay, I got two more things. This is pretty cool, actually. The voice of the Mirror Universe computer is Scotty actor James Doohan.
Oh.
And we will return to the Mirror Universe in 5 episodes of Deep Space Nine, 2 episodes of Star Trek Enterprise, and 10 episodes of Star Trek Discovery.
That's crazy.
Not a single episode in TNG or Voyager or the animated series, I guess. Although I don't know if that's... I don't know. I guess we'll find out about that one. But yeah, that's Mirror Mirror.
Mirror, mirror, baby. So, I guess I'll go first on this one. This is for sure an Engage. I think this is a really fun episode. There's a couple of things that are like maybe a little bit problematic about it, but it's supposed to be an evil universe, so like you could definitely get a pass on it. I think it's really good. I enjoyed that. I mean, this has been true largely of all of season 2 so far, but I like that everybody on the crew like gets something to do. Like we remember that we have a whole crew and not just Spock and Kirk.
Yeah.
But like there's this whole supporting cast that finally gets to actually do things and have fun moments. Her gets to knock a lady out. Like it's great. This is a really fun episode. I understand why people love this one for sure. It's still not my favorite, but it's probably like top 5, top 3, maybe even.
Yeah, if we were to like kind of think about ranking the 4 episodes of season 2 we've talked about so far,
Yeah.
this would probably be my number 2. Definitely. Amok Time's going to be hard to beat. We came out of the gate strong with that one.
Amok Time is really good. I actually don't know how I would compare this and that. I think for me those two are pretty similar.
I would put this one under, and then probably Changeling, and then Who Mourns for Adonis.
Definitely those two are below, but yeah, it's a really good episode, really fun with it. Definitely an Engage. Are you also giving it an Engage?
Engage for sure. It is a good classic episode.
Mm-hmm. There's a reason people came back to this one. Although I'm willing to bet that at least the majority of the other Mirror Mirror episodes are not great.
Well, yeah. So I've never watched Deep Space Nine, so I don't know how good it is in that. I don't know that many people who have watched Enterprise, so I can't speak for that.
Sure.
And then the fact that they went back to it in Discovery, I think, kind of speaks for itself. Discovery is very much the era of like people remember this, and then they just shovel it in. So who knows?
Right, for sure. Well, you can tell us all about what your Mirror Universe version thinks of us and the show in the comments on Spotify and YouTube. You can follow the show on Twitter at @RSR_POD. You can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Daniel J. McGee.
Do we want their Mirror Universe versions to like us or dislike us?
Ooh.
They're doing Nazi salutes.
If they're coming into our universe, we still want the engagement.
That's true. They'd probably love our fucking universe. Let's be real.
Unfortunately.
You could follow me at Blue Sky at Skyler 8-bit.
And until next time, everybody, let's see what's out there. Goodbye.
The game's just starting, the world's so bright. Jump right in, everything feels right. Let's play, take a trip back.